It is certainly starting to feel like summer in Central Ohio, and it's just a taste of things to come. Good evening, everyone. I'm Colleen Marshall.
And I'm Jerod Smalley. We had our first air quality alert today, which can mean trouble for some people in our area. We have team coverage tonight. Tyler Carter is live with how one local organization is helping people beat the heat.
But we're going to begin with Storm Team 4 Chief Meteorologist Dave Mazza.
State lawmakers are expected to continue negotiations through the weekend to come up with a state budget. One of the issues hanging in the balance is a proposal to provide workers' compensation benefits for first responders diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. The House said yes. The Senate said no. NBC4 reporter Ted Hart is live at the State House tonight with more on where all this stands. Ted. Audrey Hassan's here with sports. Audrey, the American women had to work hard considering not only the opponent, but where they played the game today.
Exactly. Big matchup today for the U.S. in the World Cup.
The Centers for Disease Control, the CDC, says nearly 1 in 5 children qualify as obese. But among the autism population, it is far more common. A study from the Center for Child and Adolescent Health Research and Policy shows children and young adults with autism are twice as likely to be overweight and nearly 5 times more likely to be obese than their neurotypical peers. It is connected in large part to lifestyle choices, diet and exercise. We all deal with it, and it is not easy, especially for a person on the autism spectrum. It's been less than a week since farm fields across central Ohio looked more like ponds. The heat has dried things out a little bit this week, but the trouble is not over. Thanks for staying with us at 5:30. I'm Jerod Smalley.
And I'm Darlene Hill. Our Ben Galbraith has been talking to farmers in the Plain City area. He joins us right now with more on what they have to deal with, and it's been a long year for them.
All right, Ben, thank you much. And so let's turn now to Dave Mazza, Chief Meteorologist, to talk about when that next rainfall might be coming. You heard the farmer there say they have a few days and then it rains again and they're back in the same mess.
Yeah.
What would be potentially the next rainfall for them?
And that's the problem. Like yesterday, we had, a rain shower that came over Delaware County.
It's kind of like Bubba from Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
So you got grilled peach wings, you got grilled peach cheese, you got snapper with peach, you got peppers with peach.
Peach,
you got
shrimp, peach, gumbo.
everything in. To Dave right now, can you imagine playing in that? I mean, you've played sports, and
well,
it doesn't take much.
It's amazing how quickly dehydration sets in, but you're talking about the highest level of your sport,
right.
The nerves and anxieties that set in on top of that. I mean, that's a pretty rough situation
and
to play
playing at that level.
In the southern part of the country, I think 100 plus, right, in France?
Yeah, 113, all-time record high for the country.
From the station that is local for you, NBC4 at 11 starts now.
Is it somebody that I knew, that was a victim?
Thanks for joining us tonight for NBC4 at 11. I'm Jerod Smalley. Shock and disbelief in an affluent community on Columbus's north side after the feds arrest a man on child pornography charges. Michael Sutherin is accused of sexually victimizing children by producing, advertising, and receiving child pornography. NBC4's Rob Sneed joins us from the federal courthouse with more details from the indictment. Rob? It is their job to serve and protect, but for first responders, there are some calls to duty they pray they will never encounter. 9 lives were lost in Dayton over the weekend after a 24-year-old man opened fire in the popular Oregon district. Firefighters and paramedics responded to the scene within moments, and despite the shock of it all, District Fire Chief Adam Landis says there was never any hesitation by his team to get to work. However, he recognizes more heroes in this story. Bird strike forced an American Airlines flight to return to John Glenn Airport this morning just minutes after taking off. Pictures obtained by NBC4 show some of the damage to a wing and to the cowling of one of the engines. A spokeswoman for the airport said the plane struck a flock of geese moments after takeoff. The plane was able to turn around, land safely, and return to the gate.
Bird strikes are irrelevant.
The plane was bound for Dallas-Fort Worth. All the passengers were rebooked onto other flights, and the FAA says it will open an investigation into the incident. A solemn goodbye as the body of a 20-year-old Ohio soldier who died in combat in Afghanistan returned to his hometown. The body of Army paratrooper Brandon Kreischer was escorted with full honors from Toledo Express Airport to Williams County. Hundreds lined the streets saluting the motorcade. Kreischer leaves behind a wife and unborn child. Tonight, the Union County Sheriff's Office is investigating the death of a man at a farm near Raymond. It happened yesterday at New Day Farms on Powder Lick Road. Deputies say a man fell from a motorized ladder. Investigators have not positively identified him. We're told OSHA and ICE are also taking part in that investigation. Whitehall police say they seized drugs, cash, and a gun while serving a warrant in the Hilltop area. We're told the warrant was part of an investigation into drugs being brought into Whitehall. Police say they seized methamphetamine, fentanyl, cocaine, and heroin. They also found more than $7,000 in cash and a stolen handgun. And communities on edge after massive immigration raids in Mississippi. Why the Trump administration is drawing criticism for how those raids were handled. That's next. President Trump is defending this week's immigration raids in Mississippi, calling them a deterrent to immigrants thinking about entering the country illegally. Immigration officials say a little less than half of those arrested Wednesday have been released. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest.
I'm Darlene Hill.
I'm Jerod Smalley in for Mark tonight. Chief Meteorologist Dave Mazza is here, tracking the, I would call it, considerably light chances for rain tonight.
Yes, okay. Very small little chances. Like if we talk about popcorn showers, these are like the kernels. They're just tiny little, or wait, is that what those little things are called?
Yeah, those
are
that
works.
Yeah, the things
it's
that you
good
break your
visual.
teeth on.
New tonight, the Pike County Sheriff has been indicted on more than a dozen charges, including theft. Colleen Marshall is in the newsroom to tell us about Sheriff Charles Reeder and the trouble he is facing tonight. Colleen?
Well, it is big trouble, Jerod.
And you know, these are some of the happiest athletes, too.
No doubt. It's an incredible scene. It is the opening night for this year's Special Olympics State Games at Ohio State. NBC4's Sean Lanier joins us live from the OSU campus where the games are getting ready to get started. Sean? All right, Sean, thank you, sir. Think about this. 22 different sports are represented in the Special Olympics in the state of Ohio. 22,000 Special Olympic athletes from all across the state compete every year.
That is amazing. And like we said, it's so much more than a game.
It is.
So much more than a game.
It means so much to families to see their kids enjoy the opportunities, and not just kids, adults.
Yeah,
and that's a wonderful grouping to see that come together. They do it every year.
On an equal level playing field out there, too.
No doubt.
Don't give me an award. They want to all earn it.
Yeah,
all right.
It's inspiring.
Good deal.
Solving a puzzle begins with the first piece. Some pieces snap perfectly together, others never quite connect. That's the thing about a puzzle. Some puzzles never reveal the complete picture. 10 years ago, we began with our first puzzle piece. His name was Brady.
Hello.
The first words on target. The first steps were strong, but soon those words were gone. The pieces no longer fit, and that is autism. Over the past decade, we've met thousands of people and shared their stories.
On my honor. On my honor.
Their hopes.
I was told he will never look you in the eye, he will never make himself a part of the family, he will never show emotion, and he will never have friends. And that has stuck with me to this day. That sentence, he will never have friends, and it broke my heart. Perfect example, he's got every friend in the world inside those walls, and it's a dream come true for me that he's gotten this far.
Their lives.
What other people think of autism, they think, oh, autism's a terrible thing, and really, I think it's a great thing. I'm glad I'm autistic.
It's a spectrum of personality across Ohio and across this country. We've witnessed their passion and their power, their puzzle. Tonight, we continue our search for the next piece of the autism puzzle. Good evening and welcome as we celebrate 10 years of the autism puzzle. I'm Jerod Smalley.
And I'm Ellie Merritt. In those 10 years, we have seen major changes in the autism community, from awareness to diagnosis, therapies to victories.
And since this show first aired, the diagnosis rate in the United States has grown from 1 in 150 people to 1 in 68 people, including 1 in every 42 boys. Autism is defined as a complex developmental disability characterized by challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech and nonverbal communication, as well as by unique strengths and differences. There remains no known cause or cure for autism. If you'd like to learn more about autism during tonight's show, we've made it very easy for you. Our Call 4 lines are open tonight with experts from several agencies, such as OCALI, the Ohio Center for Autism and Low Incidence, Nationwide Children's Hospital, the Learning Spectrum, Autism Society of Central Ohio, Autism Speaks, and Autism Power. Give us a call, 614-821-4444.